Chaos, a being that thrives on the destruction of worlds. It transcends time and space, wandering through dimensions in search of one worthy of becoming its vessel. Worlds upon which chaos descends are consumed as its nourishment and meet their demise, and Liarun has trained for over 100 years to seal this chaos. But in the end, he has to cross the path and become a vessel of the chaos. The three kings trained him for 100 years, and they have tried all their tricks to prevent Liarun from becoming a vessel, but in the end, they failed. Iraun has to become a chaos vessel in order to leave this place. As he is about to leave, the Sliver King asked Liarun from his name. Hearing this, he laughs and says that if he is seriously asking this after over 100 years, "Ha ha ha, I must have grown too accustomed to having you around. I was once called a heartless ghost without blood or tears. Yet even I seem to have developed some attachment." Hearing such touching words, Liarun tells the Silver King his name, and he willing accepts to become the vessel. As he accepts to become a vessel, chaos gets inside his body, and he feels immense pain. After the chaos fully settled in Iraun's body, he feels weak and sleepy. The king of Gehenna catches him from falling. The king gets curious about the health of Liarun. Liarun's face gets pale, and his eyelids get darker. The Sliver King says that Iraun's body is resisting the power of chaos, which is gnawing at his spirit. The king of Einhart tells that from now on, nightmares will plague him, and if he falls into those nightmares, chaos will awaken once more. Hearing this, Liarun gets up and starts to walk away from the kings and says that he expected this much, and that's why he tells the three kings to kill him now. The kings get shocked upon hearing this and asked Iraun that if he had planned this from the very beginning. Liarun smiles and says that he should be able to get that much as after all he is the disciple of the three kings. Liarun plans to seal the chaos in his body and annihilate it completely. Destroy chaos entirely. "That is your goal, isn't it, Master?" Iraun asked. The king of Einhart makes a gloomy face, asked Iraun that if he knew this, then why did he plan to cooperate with them? Liarun says, "I was betrayed by everyone and left with nothing. I couldn't bring myself to trust anyone. But from you, masters, I felt warmth from others that I had long forgotten. Revenge doesn't matter to me anymore. I just wanted to repay the warmth you showed me, masters. Finally, please tell me your names. That is my last request." Hearing this, the master stands speechless and starts to tell their name one by one. "I am Shin Yawul, the Silver King. I am Sehard von Domain, the king of Einhart. I am Bergena, the king of Gehenna." After hearing their name, Liarun smiles and says that he has no regrets now, and tells the three kings to take his life now. The king of Einhart slowly approaches to Liarun and put his hand on Iraun's shoulders and says that you will not die here. You are our disciple and our child. How could we possibly kill someone like you with our own hands? Liarun gets shocked to hear this. He asks them that if they don't kill him, their lifelong mission will be unaccomplished. Bergena goes to Liarun and says, "The chaos within you. We will share its burden and seal it together. Since the chaos within you has been shaped by our teachings, our power can contain it. Afterward, the dimensional bindings will release and you will return to where you belong." Listening to it, Liarun asked what will happen to them. "Will be sealed somewhere deep within the world. Iraun go back and never come looking for us." The kings said that and pushed Liarun to his world. Now back to the present, Liarun has pinned down Shin Hong. He knew that the power he gained from the three kings are formidable, but he never imagined that they will even be so powerful in their infant stage. Shin Hong is a high ranker with around 150 level, but Iraun only uses the Silver King's blood demon arts and easily defeated him. Iraun wonders how much powerful he will become when he recovers the other two kings' powers. If he has completely mastered the Three Kings' powers, he will never lose. Not even to the leader of the Volcano Guild, or the highest-ranking experts of the Silver Faction, and beyond that, the likes of Einhart, Gehenna, and even the apex of this world, One Hand. Shin Hong begs Li Yiran for his life and says that he had no choice but to betray him. Hearing this, Li Yiran removes his hand from Shin Hong. Shin Hong tells Yiran that they had to betray him so that they can save Yiran and themselves. You became the raid captain of Volcano while I endured daily agony. Was that supposed to be for me? Yiran asked. Saying this, Yiran is going to finish Shin Hong with his black ball. Shin Hong stops Yiran and tells him that he will tell him the whereabouts of the other teammates that betrayed him and will also help him in his revenge. Listening to this, Yiran gets angry and grabs Shin Hong's mouth and puts the ball in his mouth and kills him instantly. Li Yiran then puts on a jacket and starts to walk out of the cave. He comes in front of the other slaves. Seeing they understand that this man is the one that has killed all the black man and Kim Shin Hong. Sewing Yiran the other slaves starts to shake out of fear. Yiran makes a few black ball and aims at the slaves. Seeing this, the slaves starts to run, but they couldn't outrun the black balls. The balls hit the slaves. They slaves things that they will dies, so they breaks down completely and starts to cry. But after a while, they realize that the slave mark on them is broken. Everyone gets shocked and feels a bit relieved. Yiran raises his hand towards the ceiling and bursts the ceiling with his power. As the ceiling fans, the cave starts to collapse. Li Yiran tells them to run, or else they will be buried under the rubble. Hearing this, the slave starts to run, and Li Yiran jumps up through the hole in the ceiling. He stands at the peak of the mountain and looks at the forest and thinks that his initial goal was to destroy the world for his revenge. But after seeing the sacrifice of his masters, Yiran realizes what he must do. This world is filled with chaos, and Li Yiran decides to consume it all and make it his own. Cheong In-woo, leader of the Red Plum Raid from the Volcano Guild, heard the report regarding the incident of the Volcano Guild, but he didn't think it was true until he sees it for himself. Now he sees that a beggar without any prominent identity has turned their Volcano Guild into a mess. What about the interrogation of the captured slaves? He asks one of his subordinates. The subordinate replies that the people who have been in the incident have their memories erased, and the leader points out that even the slave marks were removed. The member of the Red Plum Raid replies that there were traces of someone distorting the magic circle from within. Cheong In-woo figures out that the culprit must have been at least someone on the level masters. He asks whether there are any other traces. The member replies that there are no traces of a martial artist or player to be found, and it seems to be the work of Einhart's magicians or Gehenna's demons. Cheong In-woo concludes that it's probably Gehenna. Suddenly, another member of Red Plum hurriedly informs that the corpse of the corpse dragon has disappeared. Cheong In-woo thinks that it's as he expected, because if it's Gehenna, they likely have plenty of ways to use the corpse dragon without purifying it. He orders to contact the headquarters to tell them to investigate every trace of Gehenna's activity on Earth over the past year to the last month. Then he comes across the corpse of Kim Shin Hong and asks, "What's this trash doing here?" His subordinate replies that Shin Hong came here to confirm the death of the slave Li Yiran. Upon hearing the name Li Yiran, he thinks that if it's Li Yiran, the one who was on the verge of becoming a high ranker, if he hadn't touched that, his name would have been well known by now. Then he asks about Li Yiran's corpse. The member replies that about a month ago, when the slave mark broke, Yiran entered the abyss. Cheong In-woo concludes that then Yiran must be dead. His body wouldn't have been able to withstand the poison. He tells his subordinate to wrap up everything here so that they can hunt the remaining stragglers. The news of the Volcano Guild's corpse disposal site being attacked reached Dongdaemun District, Seoul. People are having a talk about it. Some rumors have also spread that it's the doing of Gehenna. Aroun is also there, but he has hidden himself. He thinks that it's no surprise that people are talking about the Volcano Guild being attacked, since it's one of the three great guilds in Korea. Aroun decides to bring the guild down soon, but for that to happen, he first needs to find Master Mu Wang's faction, because that's the most effective way to get stronger. And for someone like him, with no official status, this place is the only option to look for people. "What would you like, sir?" the bartender asks. While pretending to order, he speaks in code language. "A Kahlua milk, hold the milk. Make it strong and sweet with just ice." Meanwhile, the manager seems surprised. The bartender replies that it's not even in their recipe. The manager tells the worker to organize the inventory in the storage room, and he will take charge as of now. When do they even use this kind of ancient code? Did this guy just return from some gate 5 years later? The manager asks. Aroun replies that it is like more than 100 years to him. Aroun says that he would like to come to the main point, without any further delay since it's just the place for this. Jang Ho-seok, head of the black market Seoul branch, asks Aroun what he wants. Aroun replies that he wants to take a job. Any specific types? Jang Ho-seok questions. Aroun says that he is up for anything, but the location must be a D-rank gate or higher. Jang Ho-seok opens a drawer, while saying that he got just the right job for Aroun and tells him to slowly take his pick. Aroun notices that there's a kidnapper's job. Ho-seok says that kidnappers lure beginners into leveling up, trap them in a gate, and then demand ransom from their parents. The targets are children of rich families, so they can get a lot out of them. Moreover, the job fee is 200 million, with a 30% commission. Aroun smiles as he says that this is really a trashy job. This makes the manager quite angry as he moves his hand towards his gun. He points his gun towards Aroun because he thinks that Aroun is those types of idiots who don't want to take a job, but try to take this place down. But have you thought about this? What happens when those who depend on this place for jobs find their work cut off? Who do you think their anger will turn to? He asks fiercely. Aroun clears the misunderstanding by saying that it means he likes the job. So, he suggests that Ho-seok should tell the people behind to lower their killing intent. Ho-seok smiles as he sees that Aroun was able to notice the killing intent coming from his back. He says that now he can trust Aroun with the job. Lastly, Jang Ho-seok tells Aroun that he would be contacted very soon and offers him a drink because this place is a bar even if it's for appearance sake. Aroun says that it would be a problem. He angrily says that if he drinks that fall asleep in this place, everyone here will die, and he takes his leave. Ho-seok thinks that Aroun is a late bloomer with a middle school delusion complex, like so he will die soon enough at this rate. Later, at Dasan-dong, Namyangju City, D-rank gate players have gathered. Someone calls his brother Cheol-ho. Cheol-ho looks back and says that it's nice to see that Min-hong is here. He says by pointing that these are the players joining as pieces this time. They're like younger siblings to him, so they must get good care. "So how do you feel about your first field operation?" he asks. Min-hong replies that he is a little nervous. Cheol-ho tells Min-hong that there is no need to be nervous since their party members have been with him for over 3 years. So a D-rank gate is no big deal. Then he points at another group of people and introduces them as wanderers, and Aroun is one of them. Everyone gets scared once they hear the word wanderer. Cheol-ho reassures Min-hong by saying that these wanderers are martial artists who have been working with them for 3 years as well. Lee Aroun thinks that it's natural to feel nervous because wanderers are notorious for doing things no better than Gehenna's demons. Then he notices that there is someone who doesn't seem surprised at all, and it seems he has already found the person he is looking for. Lee Aroun and the team enter the D-rank gate, and after a whole day of fighting, they set their camps in the middle of the forest at night. Everyone is enjoying the new experience Min-hong gets free with the team leader Cheol-ho. Min-hong asked Cheol-ho, "That will they be able to battle themselves tomorrow?" Cheol-ho tells them not to worry as he has planned a safe route where they will be able to hunt low-rank monsters easily. Cheol-ho then tells Min-hong to get some rest, as tomorrow will be a big day for him. Min-hong trusts Cheol-ho and gets to sleep inside his tent. As Min-hong leaves, Cheol-ho and his subordinate gives a sinister smile. Iraun is sitting alone beside the bona fide. The lady in the red cape named Yunha approaches him and asks to sit beside him. Iraun knocks his head, and Yunha sits next to him. As she sits, she asks Iraun about his martial arts level. Iraun tells her that it's rude to ask for other martial arts level. Yunha says that she don't know that, as she is a newbie player. She then asked Iraun for his name. Iraun gives a scary look that scares the lady. After a while, Iraun tells her his name. Hearing the name, the lady thinks that this name seems familiar to her. At that time, a blonde lady comes and tells Yunha to go and take some rest, as it's her time to keep watch. Yunha gets up, and while going, she tells Iraun goodbye and tells him that she enjoyed talking to him, even if it was for a short while. After talking to Iraun, Yunha don't think that Iraun is a bad person, but for some reason, she feels an ominous vibe from him. The scene change, and we can see in the next morning the party strats their hunting. Cheol-ho and his team kills almost all the monsters. A team member tells Cheol-ho to start to act as the gate will be closed soon. Cheol-ho tells Min-hong and his party to leave now, or else they will not be able to leave the gate until they kills the boss monster. Min-hong doesn't want to leave. He begs Cheol-ho that he would come with them to hunt the boss. Cheol-ho tells Min-hong that he is concerned that he might get hurt. Min-hong still don't want to leave and tells Cheol-ho that he is a player now, and if he just run away from challenges, he will never be a strong player. Cheol-ho asked for the last time that if Min-hong is really willing to come with them. Min-hong says yes. Hearing this, Cheol-ho gives a smile as he has hooked up the prey. Cheol-ho praises Min-hong for his spirit and tells him to finish the orges that were rushing towards them. Min-hong gives a smile seeing the orges and says that he was waiting for this. Min-hong, Yunha, and the others rush towards the orges and attacks them. Cheol-ho and his subordinate smiles looking at each other. In the meantime, the gate closes, and more orges comes. Min-hong is getting pushed back and he falls on the ground. The orges are much stronger than Min-hong has thought. Min-hong is utterly defendless in front of orges. He shouts Cheol-ho for help, but Cheol-ho says that the situation is quite chaotic, so he can't come for help. The orges attacks Min-hong. As he has nothing to defend, Min-hong takes a scroll from his pocket, and he tears the scroll in front to the orge. As he tears the scroll, a huge flame comes and engulfs the orge, and kills it instantly. After the orge is dead, Cheol-ho comes rushing to Min-hong and asks if he is all right. He also says sorry to Min-hong for not coming to his rescue. Min-hong tells him not to worry, as he had this high-tier fire magic scroll that his dad gave him to use in dangerous situation. Min-hong Alos says that that scroll was the only one he had. Cheol-ho smiles and asked him if he has any other items like this. Min-hong says that he don't have any, as this high-tier scrolls are very expensive. Cheol-ho takes out a scroll and puts it in front of Min-hong and says that it's a relief that he has no other items. After that, Cheol-ho shouts bind and chains comes out from the scroll and wraps around Min-hong's body. Min-hong falls on the ground confused. He asked Cheol-ho that what is the meaning of this. In the meantime, the other subordinates of Cheol-ho also binds the rest of Min-hong's teammates. Cheol-ho and his subordinates gives a devil's smile and says thanks to Min-hong for falling to their trick. Min-hong seems nervous in a shaky voice. He tells Cheol-ho to stop joking around and untie him already. Cheol-ho slaps Min-hong and gives a death glare and says that if he really thinks that this is all a joke. Cheol-ho then pulls out his sword and places it on Min-hong's neck and says that to make him believe it's not a joke, he will start with cutting off one of his ears. As Cheol-ho is about to swing his sword, Yunha unwinds her binding and starts to slash Cheolho's subordinates. As soon as Cheolho noticed Yunha's sword has reached him, Cheolho blocks the attack and asked Yunha that how did he gets out from her binding. Yunha smiles and uses sword aura to push back Cheolho. The sword aura starts cut Cheolho's sword. Seeing this, Cheolho steps back and swings Yunha's sword away. Seeing Yunha using sword aura, Cheolho gets that she is a martial artist, and that's why the magic binding didn't work on her. Cheolho is a bit confused, as when he used his information search skill, it showed that Yunha is a player. Yunha also asked Cheolho that he also don't look like a second-rate D-rank player. Seeing Cheolho getting pushed back, the other martial artist that Cheolho hired steps up and tells Cheolho to back off and he will deal with her. The martial artist walks towards Yunha and says that judging by her sword aura, it seems like that she is at the pinnacle just like him. Yunha is now at a disadvantageous situation as she has been surrounded by the other team members of Cheolho and a martial artist who is at her level. Yunha seems nervous. As she stands still, the martial artist makes the first move. Yunha blocks it. She is getting pushed back by the martial artist's continuous attacks. Yunha gets a chance and starts to attack, but the martial artist either blocks or dodges them. The C-rank player also joins the fight and attacks her. She notices it and quickly falls back to create a distance between them. Cheolho then orders Iron to catch the lady. Iron slowly starts to walk towards Yunha. Yunha sees Iron coming. She faces Iron and looks at his eyes. As she looks in Iron's eyes, she feels intimidating and wonders that is the true identity of Iron,